Hey there, I'm Antwan Towner, and I wanted to do this video really quick because a lot of us go through problems and a lot of us get in situations where we don't know why we're in it and we're trying to find a way out. A lot of times when I do these videos, I'm a lot of times talking to myself because I'm trying to motivate and inspire myself and really just love myself from the inside in order to get to the next level in my life and also to stay encouraged as well. When I do this, I attempt to try to share with other people who may be going through the same things or understands that there are other people around them who may be going through these type of things and maybe want to improve their life. Now, I want to give some context on why I am the way that I am and why I do the things that I do. And it's very important that you understand that. Stay tuned. Now, also, I want to preface this video. No one's life around you is perfect. No matter what Instagram may make you think, or Facebook may make you think, or even YouTube may lead you to believe people's lives are better than yours or perfect, or their life is special in some kind of way that's different than yours. It's really just an illusion. And I want to get that on the table because a lot of us compare our lives to other people, and that can just spark up this nasty bout with depression, anxiety, and comparisonism, if that's even a word, but the idea that you have to see your life in comparison to other people. So I want to get that on the board right now, on the table right now, is that is not what this is about. That is not what I'm about. And I hope that you are healing definitely in that area. Now, with that being said, let's get right into this. Please remember to hit the subscribe, like, or share button. I really appreciate that. When I was going through a lot of my problems as an adult, I had to ask myself the question, what am I about? What are the things that are important to me? And that's what this is really about. What are the things that are important to you? If you're going through any type of problem right now, you have to ask yourself the question, what is important to you? What are the things that you focus on? Where do you spend your time? Who do you spend your time with? What are you putting your energy toward? Every day I go for a walk. And the reason I go for my walk is because I realized after a while of not exercising that my health was actually more important to me than I was demonstrating. The things that I would do, the activities that I were into, I wasn't really demonstrating that my health was important to me. And then I realized when I go for my walk, I just feel better. I lose weight. I sleep better. My energy is more up throughout the day for a longer period of time. And it reduced my anxiety. So when I think about health, I don't just think about the body. I think about the mind, the spirit, and of course the body, because I believe that first of all, we are a spirit. We have a mind and a body. And so our mind is always trying to help us along the way. If we don't have our health in order, then our mind doesn't operate in our best interest all of the time. And then therefore our body has a reaction that we don't necessarily like. And so I realized that you can flow back and forth with your body. If you shake your body up and you go for a walk or a jog or a bike ride, for instance, that's going to move your body, get your lymph nodes moving. And that's going to give your body a reaction that causes your stress to go down, your cortisol levels to go down, your stress hormones to go down altogether. So you end up sleeping better. You end up waking up with more energy. You feel better. You're happier. You have less anxiety. You have depression go away. It sort of vanishes, essentially. And what that is really just taking an effort to say what is important. And when I realized that, I was trying to actually handle depression and handle anxiety specifically because it had been overbearing. It had been indescribable to my friends and family, and to the point where I didn't want to talk about it because I felt like there was something wrong with me. And then I realized that other people are going through this as well. Other people don't always feel good. And as a magician, as an entertainer for a living, when I get on stage, that's like the best part of my day. When I get off the stage, it's the most depressing part of my day. And then I got to go back to my regular life. And that wasn't something I could explain to most people because most people have never gotten on stage before. Actually, being on stage is one of the most frightening things for most people. There's actually more people on earth that are afraid of getting on stage more than they are of getting on an airplane. Anyway, I realized when I started asking myself that question of what is important to me and why am I going through this stress, why am I going through this anxiety, and why do I even do these videos? Well, a lot of times I'm doing the video to talk to myself, to inspire myself, because there's not really a lot of people around me that are doing it. I don't know Tony Robbins. I don't know Les Brown. I don't know Zig Ziglar. I don't know Owen Cook. I don't know all of these guys that I watch every single day. I can't have a dialogue with them per se. Now, we can pretend to on Instagram because that's what people do. We know from Gary Vee that, you should engage with people. You should talk to your fans, or you should talk to the people that are your followers. In real life, when I think about that, it seems like so robotic and it's not real. And so I had to find other solutions. So part of that was doing videos like this that just showed real, raw expression. And that in turn started working on my mental and spiritual health. It started allowing me an outlet, a channel for me to express myself. And then what ended up happening is I'd run down the street or walk down the street and people just walk up to me and say, you know what, that video you did really helped me. So the dialogue may not have been a face-to-face conversation as I'm doing this right now, but I know that as I do the thing that is important to me, it will in turn unfold into something that heals and benefits someone else. Now, why is that important to me? I'll get to that in a second. There's another thing that's also important to me, which is love. And I believe that there are 3 different types of love, and maybe even more, but the basics are what they call phileo love, which is like a brotherly love, how you love your friends, how you love your brothers, how you love your neighbor or your friend, right? Then there's also an eros love, which is a sexual love, and it is how you love romantically. And there's another type of love, which is a love called agape love, which is a unconditional love. It's like how a parent is supposed to love their child as we imagine. And when I think about that, that's really important to me. I don't have any kids yet, but I often use this analogy. I want to treat my kids this way. And that actually was helped me to quit smoking, which benefited my health in one way or the other. I was using smoking as a tool to relieve stress. I had all these tables of belief that would hold up this idea that it reduces my stress and it makes me feel good, and it's not as expensive as doing other things, and it's just an activity I do on my 15-minute break. And that would be the table of belief that it would hold up, and I think I learned that from Tony Robbins. And I had to shift those legs that held that table up to, I don't want to die this way. I want to play ball with my kids, which I don't have. I want to live a long and healthy and happy life. And then another leg was, I want to find out what is stressing me out and then heal that. So loving other people, whether it be your friends or your family or your romantic partner, has also to do with loving yourself. And that's why your health has to be important to you as well. Now, I don't know what the 4 things are that are important to you. I'm just sharing with you the things that I figured out recently. So in this love area, I tried to expand my heart and my mind, and I do that through these videos to share with other people, to maybe inspire you to do a video like this. Maybe go to that vulnerable place and talk about something that may heal someone else. Because I don't look at, like, for instance, the people that we would consider higher ups or the people that are in charge to heal my life. I take the responsibility for that. And I hope that you take the responsibility for that as well. That's what this is about. Another reason why I like to do this stuff is because the interaction is an ongoing thing. I think about the future, maybe my kids watching this video and go, damn, like Dad was, an interesting person. And that it has to do with leaving a bit of a legacy. What legacy are you leaving? What is it that you want to teach your kids in the long run? What is it that you want your grandchildren to be able to look back on and say, look what mommy did, look what daddy did, right? And I think that that's a form of love in the long term. That's a form of health, mental, spiritual, physical, in the long term. Not just physically being there and being around for people, but actually doing activities that strengthen your health, spiritual, mental, physical, and your love life, your friends, your sexual life, romantic life, and also your unconditional love for your fellow mankind as it is. Also, the reason why this is important to me is because I think it leads into happiness. What is happiness to you? I believe it's different for everybody. We all have a form of happiness, a blueprint of what makes us happy. And for me, these few things have to do with what leads me down a happier path. And I hope that the exchange of this communication, this dialogue between us, is leading you down a happier path, maybe opening up your mind or your spirit or your body to something that you didn't think of before. And I think that when we help each other as human beings, we all end up in a happier place. At least that's what my desire is. That's what my intent is. Now, one of the final things I want to talk about in this dialogue is that helping other people is important to me. Why do I do this? And I think that teaching is one of the most important things for anyone to do. I've been blessed to have amazing teachers in my life that have showed me things and helped me with things that I otherwise didn't know. And so I think as we share our expression with each other, we can help one another. And I think that that's sort of almost a selfish thing because it makes us feel good to help other people, but it makes them feel good as well. And there's a lot of negative stuff going on in this world, and it's really up to us, you and I, to try to at least combat that a little. I don't know. Maybe my imagination is wild in that area, but that's just what I believe. Now, why do I believe that? I'm not going to get too far into this, but I was in a foster home. Why was I in a foster home? Because my mother decided to do drugs, and my father wasn't really there for me until I was about 13 years old. So I had this great opportunity to live in a strange household. I had this great opportunity to go back with my mother and live in a drug household. And then when I was 13, my father's wife decided that I would be able to come into their home, and that opportunity, I had the opportunity to have two parents in a loving household where I got to learn so many different things. But up until that point, I had felt unwanted. So I know what that's like. And that goes back to the importance of why I do this. It feels like it's necessary to do this. If I get to a point where I'm strong enough to talk about it, then maybe someone out there in the internet world will be strong enough to talk about it and be able to help others. I know what it's like to be punished and to be beaten and to be pulled by the ear and thrown down the stairs. I know what that's like. And to sleep in a dank basement as a 6-year-old, it's not a very pleasant experience. So when I see the world today as I grow up, and I've had the opportunity to have a neighbor family love me as one of their own, and to show me that there is love in the world and that it can feel different than what I was used to. And to take on that family and have them take me on as one of their own, and to feel wanted after 13 years of being essentially abandoned. So as I grow in this world, and I've become a magician for a living, that is so far out there that I have the opportunity to make that choice, to follow my dream, and to be the magician of my life, not just on stage, but to transform whatever was negative into a positive. And I think that it's such a great opportunity now with the internet to be able to share with other people, to maybe encourage someone or inspire someone or motivate someone or just love someone enough, even if it's a stranger, to be the magician of their own life. I don't know what it is about your life that you want to transform, but I think that we all want growth. I believe that when we stop growing, we sort of feel dead inside, and that's never a good feeling. So to battle that feeling, to battle any sort of depression, to battle any sort of anxiety, and also to open up a door to self-expression and self-love and to self-understanding, that door being open, I believe helps the world. And that idea in itself makes me happy. And I hope that it can help you become more happy. And it will help people around you become more happy. It will just continue as an on effect. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And I hope it makes sense. And I hope that you are happier today. I hope that you're making some decisions today that lead you down a path of your happiness. Be the magician. Wishing you the best.